Okay guys, so I want to share a tip with you guys on how to remove a RaceFace crankset that's mounted on a PF30 or BB30, whatever, pressed in bottom bracket. And I was a little confused because I bought this bike used and it comes with the RaceFace press fit X-type bottom bracket in there. And this is the RaceFace Effect, I believe, crankset for mountain bike. This is a 2018 Specialized Stump Jumper Comp alloy. I was initially confused on how to remove the crankset because it's actually quite simple. And the crank on the other side is empty, so nothing there. It's just a hollow crank arm with the non-drive side. So the non-drive side is actually hooked to the crank axle, not like Shimano where the main side is hooked with the axle. Okay, so that's one major difference. And to remove it, it's really quite simple. So there's a dust cap over here. This dust cap is not going to do anything. It's basically just there to prevent the crank from falling off and to tighten the drive side to the non-drive side onto the axle. And the first thing first, when you remove it, this bolt is actually quite easy. This is an 8mm hex wrench. So all you have to do is just use a little force and turn it counterclockwise, and this little hex wrench bolt is gonna fall off. It's got a washer and a seal in here. When it falls off, you'll see that, you can probably see the other side of the hole right there. And then you wonder how you're gonna remove it, because usually it's stuck onto the non-drive side very, very firmly. You can't push it off. I tried to knock it. It's not budging. And then I realized I still have this classic crankset crank arm remover. This is for the square taper crankset, and it also comes with a few other different sizes to remove other cranks. Namely, this RaceFace needs this really old school square taper crankset crank arm remover to remove. Quite funny, right? So what you're gonna do after you remove the dust cap is you're gonna put the thick end into the thread on the drive side, this thread, okay? And make sure you grease it really well, and you grease both sides. You grease your tool really nice. This is a very hardened steel. So this tool is very long lasting, and it already helped me remove countless crank arms that was very, very tough and hard to remove. So you're gonna screw this tool all the way in there, and you also need a adjustable wrench that got a few different sizes over here. And again, I'm gonna post a link in the description on where you can buy it. So basically you screw this all the way in until it doesn't move, kind of just sits there. You don't have to use a lot of force. Also make sure the internal of the thread is actually recessed behind the big thread, because you're going to use that internal part where you turn this. The internal part is going to go in and push the non-drive side off, and that's how you're going to remove this crankset. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate to you really quickly. Now mine is already loosened and almost removed, but the process for you guys is going to be the same. Okay, you don't have to tighten the large bolt right here. This one, you just use your hand, put it in there, don't move it. And what needs force is this bolt, the smaller bolt right here. You're gonna rotate the other end in there until it doesn't rotate, and then you're gonna use your adjustable wrench and just use extra force, turn counterclockwise. Again, mine is already removed, so it's very loose. You're gonna turn it counterclockwise until this crank falls off. And eventually, when you turn it, it's just gonna do this. And the other side is gonna drop down. And it's completely removed. And there's a dust seal over here, so we're just gonna remove this. We're gonna leave it on the side. And of course, that, you can just push it out very easily, okay? Let's see. Leave the crank on the side. And let's see if it actually goes out. Like so, super, super easy, okay? That's how you remove a RaceFace press fit crankset. The main key component is this, the crank arm removal tool. Very, very handy. Get it from Park Tool on Amazon, and it's well worth its price. Okay, I hope you guys found this video helpful on how to remove the RaceFace crankset on the press fit bottom bracket. And if you did find it useful, please do hit the like button or subscribe to my channel, and I will have more bicycle restoration, repair, maintenance tips coming out for you guys. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.